Alright then, let's start this. So, hello everyone, this is Demise Red, together with Willis. We are doing this wonderful casting of the matchup between Spring and Roger of the qualification round number 3 of the Legacy of the Huns. And right now, we're seeing those two players here playing the first match. The very first match was called the Re, so this one is the second match, but considered to be the first one. And we see Spring on the left hand side here. We're playing on Arabia, of course, so we can expect some pretty exposed bases over here. And if we look at this one has to be considered as one of them. Looking at Spring's golds, it's at a pretty convenient position because it's not in the front, but still far away, and the goal itself still quite exposed there. Really difficult to wall, especially the rest of the space here. There are some spots that are really difficult to wall. Some might even, argue that it's impossible to wall, but I would even go that far. If he wants to really wall this one off, he has some possibilities there. Not sure though what he's going to do. I'm sensing some aggressive gameplay there because yeah, the hills, they're certainly not advantage for him, for his base. Also, those other resources there with the gold and the stone pretty far away, so definitely not the best match, not the best base. And if I recall correctly, Spring called it a Re a couple of minutes ago, so I'm not sure if he's happier with this very base over there. So Willis, tell us something about Roger there. What about his map?
Roger's looking a lot better as far as having a flat bases going. He's got the one hill where his stone's on top of it when he's currently chopping wood. That could be an issue later on. If that hill gets pressured, you can see Roger doesn't have too much more wood to go to. So depending on scouting, that could be a big deal if that's noticed. As far as every other resource though, his gold is in the back as well as the berries. They're close.
Yeah, they're close indeed. The gold is really convenient there. I mean, you can protect that one easily. And yeah, the stone, as you've mentioned it on the hill, not the best position at all. But I see that he has quite an advantage with that gold. If he wants to go for some gold units, as in, if he goes for some archer stuff or even some castle age action there, he has quite some advantage with the gold and a convenient position there. And if you look at the distance between the two, quite considerable. I mean, Spring is literally on the left hand side of the map and Roger on the right hand side, and there's quite some distance between the two. So if they would go for some man-at-arms action or some drush, which I doubt that they will do some drush, probably some man-at-arms, it will take a long time to go and to reach the enemy. Therefore, they have to time their placement. I mean, yeah, the placement of their barracks and also the production of the militia, as well as the tech into man-at-arms really well there to do some efficient damage. Yeah, so that's that.
I think we can now rule out the Drust from Roger. He ran into a relic on the map when he was exploring some cliffs. He took a wrong turn with his scout, and he's probably going to be fooled into continue to go to the right. So it's going to be a while until he scouts Spring.
That's true indeed.
Spring, on the other hand, hasn't scouted Roger yet, but is at least headed in the correct direction. Depending on what he runs into is going to turn him around. For anybody watching, what I meant by that is there's you can pull up on certain cues on the map that can direct you where to scout. And running into a relic is one of them to know that the enemy's TC is now within a certain amount of tiles. And so that would have, you can see that changed Roger's mind of where he was headed.
That could definitely be. The reason why Spring took so much time to finally start his proper scouting there is because he was struggling to find the sheep, and they were actually behind his base, so he didn't expect that one, and naturally he used a lot of time there. But as well, the deer, he pushed the deer as well, so that, is always a good indication for some scout rush happening, in my opinion. I mean, there are multiple reasons to go for deer, but in this very matchup with the Huns, a very versatile civilization there, but certainly one that asks for building some scouts. I'm pretty sure that he will go for that as well as we continue to Let me see real quick. Okay, the scout isn't killed by Spring, but he takes no gold or whatsoever, just a second lumber camp there. So I expect him to build the barracks ASAP, and once he does that, the scouts will be out in no time.
I believe we're seeing a barracks from Spring, and we're also seeing Roger go forward with 3 villagers to build a barracks. I think, could we be seeing some man-at-arms into tower play from Roger? Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Changed out. I was still going for a barracks. Kind of interesting placement.
Wow.
I'm interested to see his next move. I don't think I can call out what he's thinking at the moment. I would have thought towers.
Yeah.
But he hasn't positioned himself correctly for it. He scouted that wood. He knows that that hill's a great place for it, but he's called off his villagers.
That is true. Just looking at the point of view of Spring, and Spring so far doesn't know about all of this, so it will be quite a surprise. I expected him to place towers as well, but you mentioned it correctly, the placements of the villas, I mean the way they moved was not the best one in order to do so. So this one's gonna be the fastest, a scrush ever, because they will, enter the base within a couple of seconds. And there's also second building, an archery range. So this is not only a scrush or something, this is a full feudal invasion here taking place very soon.
Yeah, I'm interested to see this much pressure right on top of him, but I'm interested in deciding whether or not this is a victory or a loss kind of decision. Oh, well, now the villagers are getting involved. That's extra interesting. Wow. The villagers will match up against the spearmen well. The micro's going to be a little hard, but I think the way Roger's engaging is going to be very good for him.
If he does correctly, I mean, what he does at the moment is really micro-intensive. He needs to be careful with every decision that he makes with his military as well as with his villagers there. He has already lost one spearman there, and he must pay attention to everything now because the TC is really close. Therefore, he cannot be, not caring about the positioning of his army there. But he does well at the moment, for sure.
Yeah, so Spring's coming forward with 5 villagers chasing that off. He has a watchtower place to be built. If that watchtower goes up, I think that's very significant for ending this push.
You said a watchtower being placed. Where exactly is it?
It's near his gold, the main gold to the left side. He's not building it yet, but he has it placed.
Oh, now I see it from the point of view of Spring. Alright, now I got you. Yeah, that's really important. He needs to do this. The reason for that is basically, you said it correctly, that's where his gold is. And that's the only good position at the moment that he has, because the other gold is quite far away. Still, he could make use out of that as well. I'm not sure if he scouted that one though. He should have. Yeah, he knows about that gold. Still, he wants to protect that one for sure. But no need for a tower. He was able to actually defend himself pretty well here.
It looks like he'll be laming in all those buildings.
Oh my god.
Walls around all of it. He should lame a little bit harder there. Scouts will still be able to be made out of that stable and be able to break their way out if he doesn't push those walls up on it.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen this before when you force a unit to be spawned within the building?
What actually happens then? Tell us.
It can't move. It gets completely stuck. Oh, you see now, I think Spring's working on it. He's he pulled that villager away, but you see him placed one extra tile in there. He was thinking about making that difference.
That's for sure. Still, I like the army of Spring at the moment. Pretty solid feudal age army there. A lot of skirms, scouts, spearmen. A solid combination to fight off any enemy that is approaching at the moment.
So with this time, let's see. What is good for Roger? He has been able to put up some walls, so he won't be raided from 2 sides. I'm still not the biggest fan of his base as far as that wood's concerned. It might be a problem if this game goes on, depending on how long it goes on for. But he's going to be okay defended from about, I'd say, 2/3 of his base. He's got a watchtower up near that gold to help against raiding. I expect to see maybe a little bit more walling. to force the hand of any raids coming in, and they should be pretty well defended.
That is absolutely correct, but you said correctly, this wood line especially is not that good, but he has no possibilities, right? No alternatives there. He's doomed with this little wood line over there, which is the reason why he didn't go for a second lumber camp in the first place, I guess, next to the fact that he placed some offensive military buildings there. So yeah, 2/3 are safe at the moment. I like this positioning of the palisade gate over there, but he needs to do something about the back of his base as well. Probably position some walls, as in palisades or palisade gates, somehow, so the enemy cannot approach him from the back of his base.
It looks like just as you say that, that's happening. Dropping 2 gates to force any raids towards the TCs, but it's not quite enough. They're still going to be up, they're still going to work, but those scouts are able to run in and not really take much damage under the TC.
Really unfortunate, which is the reason why he puts up another tower there, close to his stone, with a lot of Vulsa. That's a lot of idle time. A little bit panicky there, and he even goes ahead now and tries to hit those scouts with his villagers. So that's a lot of idle time now.
I would like to see though how much of this gets cleaned up. All the spearmen are cleaned up. Skirmishers will probably go next, and well, it's going to be messy. Roger's going to clean this up, but Spring just clicked up to castle,
which is the reason, right? Yeah.
Take it, then Spring's on enough gold. He's dropping. Is that more archery ranges?
More archery ranges.
He's got many.
Exactly. I'm expecting some cav archers to come in.
Thank you, cav archers. From the new point of view, I was thinking, I guess he's tucking in the crossbowmen. I can't see why, but okay.
If you would go for crossbowmen, I would argue that the placement of the archery ranges are not the most efficient ones. Then they would have a long time to walk, actually. So my guess is actually cav archers over there, but we'll see about it in a second.
I'll take your word for it. With fletching and bloodlines coming at the same time, that really leans heavy on cav archers.
Exactly.
And it makes much more sense. So we'll see that. I'd say if any of these tiles go down, if any of these palisade walls go down, even a single tile, and cav archers are free to walk in. It's going to be pretty devastating for that wood line. Tokaraka saying hello in chat.
Well, hello there. There we go. So yeah, let's talk about the situation at the moment. Roger actually clicking up now as well, right? But I think it was quite devastating for him that he had so much idle time, which is also the reason why this army of Spring just died. I guess he just said, okay, it's just cannon fodder. I just put in the front, let it, you know, be a way to keep Roger busy while I'm clicking up myself, because now he has an advantage. He has this momentum, getting Botkin arrow now, and I see him producing cav archers from 3 archery ranges over there, and yeah, it's gonna be devastating for sure. Yeah.
Oh, and a 4th archery range even going up, so he's going up to 4 archery ranges.
Yeah.
And he's got a solid minute ahead castle each time. And I believe Roger, he doesn't have the wood. He's going full tower defense at the moment, because I believe he can see this because of his buildings that are there. Yes, he's seen at least 2 archery ranges, and now he's seen the cav archers. So he knows he's behind, but he doesn't have much answer for it, because of where he built all his bases and the fact they're walled in now.
That is for sure. And now the question is, what can Roger actually do about all of this? He is going for some knights now. We see him getting bloodlines, scale barding armor. And the question now is, will those knights be enough to fight off this huge, not huge yet, but soon to be huge army of cav archers, if we consider the fact, as you've mentioned it, 4 archer ranges over there. Question is, are knights the best solution in order to fight this off?
Well, it's always a numbers game, so if he gets the defense upgrades, has enough knights, he'll be able to ward off bigger numbers of cav archers. But I think the cav archers with the raiding mobility is going to be pretty devastating, especially because while he's been putting focus on this wood line, he hasn't put any extra focus on that gold. There's only 1 tower over there. So if the cav archers were to show up in their numbers, they'd be picking off villagers, and Roger wouldn't have much of an answer for it.
That's for sure. So I think Roger maybe not doing the best thing here at the moment, going on the knights only. I mean, the reason why... Yeah?
You see Spring going in. There was actually a hole in that wood line.
Over chopping. Oh yeah, you've just spotted that correctly. So now he is in huge troubles there. And I don't think that the knights are the best solution for that. I mean, they will be able to deal with this army maybe. But once he's done with this army, the next army will be approaching him very soon from the south of his map. And he's in huge troubles there because the only solution that Roger has at the moment is going for some mixture of probably skirmishes, elite skirmishes, and probably some siege there, some onagers. But together with the knights, it could be a possibility because with the knights you could protect those siege onagers, probably with the skirmishes as well. And with this combination you could inflict some heavy damages on the upcoming army of Spring. The problem is only there are no arch ranges and there are no siege workshops in his base.
Well, in the meantime, it looks like Spring's taking advantage of his situation, and with that, he's dropped 3 TCs, so I think he's going to be going for way more powerful.
Which is super impressive indeed. I mean, he put up 4 archery ranges, which is always an indication, okay, this guy's going to go all in, this guy's going to put all his resources into military, but no, he's actually placing TCs, so his eco is quite well managed there.
Yeah, so I think he knows his advantage, he'll be holding off, he'll be going for the stronger arm.
I don't know if you just spotted, but Roger got horse color just now. We're a minute 28 now, 29 approaching. So, yeah, some economical mistakes probably by Roger there. Not the best thing if your enemy is already superior considering his economy and you just get horse color in minute 28. So, not very good for Roger. It looks gloomy indeed. He built the market to sell some stone there because he needs some more income for his economy, and yeah, it's not looking that good. 1 TC set up there for given reasons, of course, but I'm not sure if he will be able to deal with this army that is upcoming with this setup that he has at the moment, at least.
It looks like Spring's deciding there that he knows his cav archers are strong enough that he was running into that tower, even though he's taking some damage, still just to pick off villagers. He wasn't too worried about losing a cav archer or two if he can continue to slow down Roger. It looks like Roger tried to go forward with about 7 or 8 knights there, and he might have ran into this group of
yeah, it could really happen any second.
25-30 cav archers. Yeah, and it seemed like so maybe he saw that backed off. There's a dead body or 2 laying around that. Kill death ratio though, 25-23. Huh?
Yeah, pretty
close,
equal, right?
But Spring, 24 villagers ahead, 71-47.
The problem is,
rather telling.
I guess a lot of those deaths of Roger involve villagers, right? And that's not good. You know, using military is one thing, that one huge problem, of course, but using villagers is even worse. But we see it now. He gets the second town center there, which is a good decision actually. But I have the feeling that it's quite too late. You mentioned it correctly. We have a 74-48 you know, villager count there. It's quite significant there now. I guess Spring will just boom until there's no tomorrow. And with 3 TCs he will be able to do so. And this army of cav archers, wow. He could actually just go in now and just snipe off everything. Wow, look at
like that's his plan. He might not go in, might not want to get trapped. Does he know that Roger dropped that siege workshop? He does, so maybe he's worried about a mangonel being somewhere in there kind of
exactly, which is a good move.
He is right.
Yes, sir.
J-Red, hello to you.
Hey there, J-Red. Hi. And yeah, we see the mangonel finally approaching that, so this is a good move by Roger. Also a good move that he erased those palisades to go back with his knights. Let's see if he can, you know, bait Spring somehow there into getting 1 sweet shot, maybe 2 shots. Still, this army is so big that 1 mangonel will not be enough.
Love to see him still take some damage. Everybody loves a good mangonel shot, but Spring looks like he's on it, like it's not going to happen. But there is a mangonel shoot up in that. There we go. Oh, nice. There's 1, and the second one will probably go.
Alright.
But no damage. Let's see. Nope, Spring did pretty well there.
He did well, But at the same time, Roger was able to get some calf archers there. So not that much of a big loss at the moment. Okay, now he lost his 2 mangonels there. Doesn't look too good now. It was a good move though. Good idea there. Good idea. He made use out of the siege workshop there with the 2 mangonels. Was able to get some calf archers. But now I think it's gonna be, yeah, over. Yeah, that we see it. GG. RIP.
GG indeed. But I think it was, I don't know. I usually like to talk about what the players could have done different. Oh, we gotta keep moving. They're fast.
They're fast indeed.
Alright, so I normally like to point out what I think they could have done better. I don't know if I really picked up on too many mistakes. I think they both played their map correctly. Did you see any?
Good question. I mean, the biggest problem was at the moment, that very moment in the beginning when Roger actually moved that forward. He shouldn't have lost this. It was really some, I don't want to say all in, but so much of energy spent there with 3 or 4 villages there. He went to the front, building those military buildings there, also producing the military. He shouldn't have lost that fight there. He should have continued to put on some more pressure. Because if you go forward with those villages, that means that your economy is slightly behind there. And in order to compensate that one, you need to be successful with your ratings then. And I guess he didn't cause too much of damage, at least not enough with that move. And he was pushed back successfully by Spring, and Spring had the advantage then. He could even strike back with his own field army, and finally he had enough time to click up way earlier than him. I mean, not ages earlier, but at least a couple of minutes there. And with that, he had a huge momentum to produce a lot of calf archers, which Roger was not prepared for, because he simply didn't know about it. His scouting was not sufficient enough to spot that one. He went for straight knights there. He came up with the siege workshop later on. And all in all, I guess Roger didn't react too well after losing his initial fight there in the beginning.
Alright, well, it looks like we are headed into the next match here.
Alright.
What would you... Oh, looks like... Oh, there we go. Okay, I'm in now.
Are you in now? For me, it's loading.
Yep. Okay, yep, I'm in.
Perfect.
We'll both try to stay as close to spectatorly as possible. What would you say we'd like to see different this match? Well, it's gonna... If it comes down to more than map, what's something they can pull off differently than last time?
Well, maybe that's a good question, first of all. So, what could be different? Roger, I mean, we saw it yesterday. Why am I saying yesterday? In the last game. Well, that was some weird issue there with my thinking. Probably because of some stuff that happened last night. So yeah, my brain is not working too correctly. Sorry for that. So not yesterday, but the last game over there. Roger went full aggressive there. Maybe not too aggressive this time. Maybe not too defensive, of course. But this was a kind of all-in strategy that he went for. Maybe not do it again like this. Maybe it's not the best decision against Spring, because Spring turned out to be someone who can deal with early aggression there, as we saw it. Maybe try to approach the enemy differently. Definitely not go forward with those barracks and the archer range there and the stables. Probably go for one strat first. Maybe try a scrush there. Maybe do something with scouts. And I'm just wondering, do I see that correctly? What about the scout there of Roger? Do you see that one? Is that a boar lame? Is that a boar lame?
Oh, it is a boar lame. So one thing I was going to say about Rogers, so he is the lower ranked player here. So he might be thinking, I have to do something out of the ordinary in order to, if I play this just meta, I'm not going to take down the player who's going to pull off the meta just as good or better than me.
Right.
So boar lame answers that question.
Oh wow!
If I can't beat you in a straight up slugfest, I'm gonna take one of your boars.
Good one indeed.
And I think Spring has already realized that. Let's check his scouting. Ooh, you know what? He might still run around with his scout.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't spotted every hole, so the boar could still technically be out there.
True. Did the game... Oh yeah, it's paused, right? For you as well?
Yeah, I'm seeing the same thing.
Alright.
But I'm exactly a minute 30 behind. You know what?
Yeah, me too.
Spring might want to read, but he is it's too late. He's 3 seconds too late to call a re.
Obviously, yeah.
Oh wait, but he already used his anyway, so yeah, he can't call.
I mean, I'm not 100% sure about the first one because it happened so fast, but I assume it was Spring calling the re. So yeah, if he used it, of course, he cannot use it again. It's a best of 3 there, and therefore, well, let's see about this. Yeah, but the ball lure, I mean, the ball naming there, well done indeed. I liked it a lot, and yeah, so there are people saying, nah, it's a ball lame, it's laming, that's not fair and stuff like this, but actually there are many reasons to go for it, especially in tournaments, and he did it well, and he actually managed to save a fair amount of HP on his scout. He's still 20 HP down there, so if it continues this match, which I really hope, he will have a slight disadvantage with his scout there, considering the HP. He will not be able to fight the enemy scout. He must pay attention to the position of the enemy's TC there. Just want to see if we can see his point of view there. Yeah, he just found the enemy boar, but he doesn't know about the position of the TC. Therefore, he needs to be super careful about his scout now, not to lose it. It would be crucial if he lost it.
Well, I believe you have some. You've got some pretty good insight to boar luring. Is there anything you'd like to share about what you may or may not have been mentored on?
You mean some insights why boar laming would be justified?
Yeah, I think there's may or may not know of someone who
Yeah,
may know a thing or two about that.
Maybe. Yeah, indeed. I mean, yesterday I had when I went to Hamburg, I was able to talk to MBL for a long time there, and we had a good convo on laming, because especially for us as casters, we also need to have some insights about the justifications and the reasoning behind ball laming or laming in general, what the decisions are, what the reason behind that is actually, how to, you know, say, okay, I'm doing this because of this, and this is justified because of this and this. And MBL actually gave me insight into his philosophy there, and he said, yeah, I lame boars, that happens occasionally, and when I do so, there's still a downside, because first of all, it's really micro-intensive, because Dark Age, the most micro-intensive time one could argue for, and at the same time, while I'm struggling with this, my scout is taking damage. Therefore, with my scout taking damage, and considering the fact that this is 2K plus rating games, where a lot of details play a huge role, especially the scout, the actions of the scout, and the status of the scout, considering the HP, that is a lot of loss that he takes there when he steals a boar there. And we see it's 20 HP loss, and I explain it. Now he's quite vulnerable. He cannot engage in scout fights anymore. And yeah, also when he gets by TC, he will be killed easily. Therefore, that's that. And finally we are able to continue the match. Glad to see this.
Yes, that's great. I'm glad to hear some of that insight and the fact that it got a chance to be passed down and shared.
Yeah.
While we're catching back up, hi to Papoy in the chat. Just
Hi there.
joined. Definitely know that's someone. Fine and Voobly official coming from the Willis page, and Fine and Voobly official for the first time.
Nice.
So that's good to bring that in.
And let's take a look at the villager's actions here. The way he actually decides to put the villagers on the resources. And we see three on wood now by Roger. And let's see how many on wood we got by Spring. 3, and I see a forward villager there. Is he scouting or something? Okay, interesting. Let's see though about Spring what his next action is. Oh yeah, there we go. Some more on wood. Okay, so let's analyze this first of all. So I see Roger going on 3 on wood now. So this seems like a possible scout rush. We will see about it. And Spring, on the other hand, goes for way more wood. Would you argue that this could be something like a man-at-arms rush?
Is man-at-arms rush coming from Roger?
No, from Spring, I mean. Since he got more on woods, could you argue for that? Or, you know, maybe it's his very own build order to do some archers. I've seen that one.
He might be adjusting because he knows of the boar lore, so he might already know he's going to be heavier on farms earlier.
Good call.
If you noticed, he's scouted with both his sheep completely. He got rid of 2 sheep from under the TC and went and explored any little bit that he didn't already have explored. So I think he knew he had to adjust and figured out that he's going to be on more farms earlier than he'd rather be.
I completely agree. You're absolutely right. That was a good observation there with the farm. I've heard from some experts that, yeah, if you lose your boar due to laming or whatnot, putting up 3 farms in total can compensate the boar loss, not fully, but to a certain degree, that the food income will be fine then. But yeah, that would be a strong reason why he went for more wood now, so he's able to put up some more farms very soon. And yeah, Roger clicking up, and I don't see any gold being gathered, only a second wood line there. So exactly what I wished for is actually taking place. Roger probably going for a solid and classical scout rush there without doing anything too fancy next to, you know, the ball aiming there. At the same time, looking at Spring, he puts 2 on gold, so I see some men-at-arms. Looks like it, at least.
Oh, is that what that's telling you? I was wondering. I saw that there was 2. Oh, now there's a 3rd. Yeah, two on gold would be.
Oh.
I'm not catching that relevance right off the top of my head. So you're saying that as that's pointing to man-at-arms?
Oh yeah, I mean, I was just behind a couple of seconds again. I'm having slight issues with my performance at the moment. It's kind of slow-mo sometimes. But yeah, indeed, there are 3 on gold now. But 2 on gold is always an indication for man-at-arms. With that, you have enough to produce 3 militia at least. And furthermore, you have enough gold to click up in Feudal Age for the man-at-arms upgrade. 40 gold, I assume it was. And then you'll be ready to enter the enemy base with 3 or more militia that turn into man-at-arms. But in this case, it's not the case, because we saw that there were 3 on gold, and probably they're gonna be 7 on gold very soon, because some archer range is being put down there, and the second archer range would be a strong indication that we have a classical archer rush taking place.
Okay, that's great. So how do you feel about the, we'll see, we will be seeing scouts. How are scouts going to fare against going up against archers? But looks like Spring will be full walled.
Yeah.
So Spring's going to definitely be able to hold this to a castle.
Let me see real quick what he knows about. Okay, the thing is, Spring knows that this stable was going up there a couple of minutes ago. And your question was, how is it with the scout rush if you have someone against with the archer rush? Well, with the scout rush you have the advantage that you're up there with your scouts earlier, which we can see right now as Roger's trying to enter there with 2 scouts, but unfortunately for him, but well done by Spring, he was able to close that hole there right in the last second, and he's able to actually defend this crush efficiently. That was actually his big chance to actually go into the base of Spring and cause some heavy havoc there, but it won't take place. As you said correctly, the base now fully walled.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to see it fended off. And I think both players are going to have to be changing what they're thinking. Well, not changing. It seems like Spring knew he was going to wall off, and he'll be on his way to castle. And Roger, I'm not seeing a change yet. Let's check his res. He's not really banking food yet. He's not on gold. How's his production? I don't see too much production. I can't tell. What do you think he's thinking?
Do you mean Roger now?
Yes, Roger. He doesn't seem to have adjusted.
I think he is about to adjust because he put down 1 archer range there, which is the classical answer if you get archer rushed, which will take place in a couple of minutes there, or seconds, because there are a lot of archers being queued up here from Spring. And the way to defend this actually is, first of all, you try to spot if the enemy has put down a blacksmith, so you know, okay, those archers will come in with fletching. And your way to answer to that is build 1 archer range yourself and also blacksmith, and produce skirmishes with blacksmith, with fletching from blacksmith. And this should be theoretically enough to defend this, because 1 archer range production of skirmishes is enough normally to defend archers being produced from 2 archer ranges. So I think at the moment Roger does it correctly, he adapts well, and let's just hope that he will do some more damage with the scouts, because unfortunately this was a loss for him. He spent a lot of resources on the scouts there, and he wasn't able to cause that much damage, not at all to be honest, just a tiny bit of idle time for one villager maybe, because it was the villager was forced to build one more palisade or something like this, but other than that it was not enough at all. Therefore Spring with the slight advantage there with his economy, I guess, because he didn't waste any resources over there. And let's just see how this will work out. Skirmishes are being produced and fletching now from Spring incoming, while Roger already got his own fletching there.
You say fletching from Spring. Oh, it got in. I'm sorry, I was looking at the overlay. I'm like, I don't see that being reached. Okay, it's already.
Oh yeah, I'm just just a couple of seconds behind. Unfortunately, it's.
If you're having any issues, just take a look at the host time.
Yeah.
And that should always resolve it for you.
Yeah, I'm always kind of behind for a couple of seconds there in total. It's always 10 seconds that I need to catch up again. Unfortunately, this happens sometimes, but it doesn't look too much of slow motion, so it's fine. I just need to catch up every now and then.
Don't worry about it. We'll roll with it, and don't fret about it too much.
All right.
So Roger is very, very heavily walled. He's going to be able to respond to any sort of archers that show up that aren't able to break through anywhere near fast enough.
Oh wow, now that you mention it, this is actually a bit surprising, because normally you say if there's a distance of more than 24 tiles, this is to be considered as not wallable, right? Because of resources and time being spent. And now he didn't only wall this once, no, he used a double wall over there to be really secure against any archers trying to enter the space. Which is good for him, of course.
And that time that took the archers to break through 2 tiles was enough to get skirmishers over there. And it'll push these archers back if they try to go forward.
Yeah.
Skirmishers will set up on that hill, and I think Spring will go back. Yep.
He will indeed.
I assume with that push, then you can just replace those 2 tiles. At this rate, he might even go for 3, and it'll keep him back. If you notice, you see this everywhere other than his left side where the archery ranges are. It's either a stronger building or 2 tiles to break through. So that'll keep this advantage permanent for him. Not advantage. That'll keep this ability to defend permanent for him.
That's
and
for
Roger's going to be first one up to Castle Age by about a minute and a half. That's surprising.
That's surprising.
Was he that much better on resources? Because they were going after the same researches, so they shouldn't have. Neither one of them. Roger should have been spending more food.
To be honest, I'm also quite surprised there, because he went for the skirmishes, and obviously they also cost some food over there, as well as the scouts that he produced. I guess in total he still did 3 of them, so that was not that much of loss. Still kinda surprised. Probably Spring wasn't a bit slow with the farms there.
Yeah, that's got to be the only answer, because Roger, upon getting to Castle Age, also had 800 food in the bank. It must just be that Spring was very, very far behind on farms. It's the only good explanation. Roger on 38 vills, Spring on 40, but that advantage is going to get explained away in the time it takes to get up to Castle Age, and they'll both be on 40 vills when Spring hits Castle.
Exactly, and something interesting is taking place at the moment. So we see that Roger goes for elite skirmishes, for given reasons of course, because he anticipates that since there's a considerable amount of archers, they're gonna turn into crossbows soon, he thinks, and then he has a huge advantage if he has those elite skirmishes. But at the same time, at home, at Spring's place there are 2 stables and knights are being produced as well. So it's not gonna be crossbows only, no, we're also gonna see some well-teched knights, chain barding armor incoming as well. So I guess Roger will face some surprise very soon once he sees those knights.
Yeah, those knights will come out, and there's not enough archers in that mix of skirmishers to hold off even these 3 or 4 knights that will be coming.
Yep.
And I think that whole army melts.
Yeah, that's for sure. They have +2 armor now. They will be able to clean this up very easily. The only good thing for Roger at the moment is the position of the archers there, because they're quite in a tight position there, meaning that they will be less likely to get multiple hits there. At least it will be difficult for the knights to hit all of those. But there are a lot of skirmishes inside as well, and with the minimum range there, they won't be able to cause any damage. And we see it. They're running away now, and trying to land some hits there, but they will just die. At the same time, the crossbows are approaching in the base of Roger there. There's a huge amount of crossbows. And we see, actually, that Roger decided to go for calf archers. Really interesting choice there.
Well, other than the crossbowmen, we kind of see it's just opposite of the last game.
That's for sure. You're absolutely right.
As far as unit composition goes. But Spring is pushing way, way better. And I think... Oh, wait. Oh, Spring's actually walled out right now. I didn't realize that that Siege Workshop was keeping his crossbows out of there.
Yeah, that is true. The only bad thing at the moment is if you see the villagers there, which you do, of course, it's just awful for Roger at the moment. The way he walled up his base, you know, gave him only the opportunity to get wood on this very wood patch there. Meaning that if this wood patch is being raided, which is the case at the moment, Roger will struggle getting some more wood over there. So really bad for him at the moment. He's pressured a lot.
So that... I think those archers are gonna get...
Wow. And it's over. Wow. Wow, it's over. Oh, and I actually forgot to update the scoreboard, right? But now it's over anyway. Spring just won it. Well.
Oh, sorry. Well, I guess we could say...
All good.
Anybody can take on... Well, within a certain range, anybody can take on anybody given days. But Spring came into this match favored. I think ranked 9th in this tournament. Against Roger, who was ranked 24th, 26th, maybe?
Yeah.
I mean,
it was something like that. And you're right, Spring was favored. Still, I mean, Roger being 2k plus, I mean 2001 to be precise, but still 2k player. He did quite well, but there were some crucial mistakes, especially with this last game now. You said it. Those crossbows were blocked, right? But at the same time, what was blocking it? An unfinished siege workshop. Okay? And that was not good because it remained unfinished and he needed that siege workshop, right? Why did he need it? Because, well, he needs mangonels to kill those expos there, but he couldn't do so. And therefore, that was one of the major mistakes there, in my opinion.
Yes, I understand. It's fortunate it didn't go up. And a mangonel could have made the difference there. But Spring was just coming with a better eco, better unit composition. He was about to break in with those knights on the front, as well as he'd even started mixing in his own cav archers.
Indeed. So, actually I saw Roger having a huge momentum there, especially with the boar laming there. He had quite good chance, but Spring didn't allow him to do so, to succeed with all of this. And therefore, well, there you have it. Spring won against Roger 2-0.
Yes, and I answered the chat, what is QR? It's a qualifier round. This was qualifier round 3 or 4? 3.
It was 3. And you can just type in, I mean, for everyone who's interested, just type in ! brackets. And I've linked there the brackets just for this very tournament here. And then you can see all the scores there. And yeah, so that was it.
So, Demise, what's your time for the rest of the day?
I mean, right now it's getting 10 p.m. now in the evening, so it's quite early in my opinion, as from the student's point of view there. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, let me just see into the calendar. I guess there's another Legacy of the Huns game taking place very soon. Do you know?
I don't know that calendar-wise for Legacy of the Huns, but looking in this tournament lobby, there's a Nomad Battlegrounds, the
Should
game
be
that
Ola
I
Dushek,
originally
right?
thought we were casting. What's that?
It should be with Ola Dushek, right? This Nomad Battlegrounds. Let me see. Yeah, it's Ola Dushek and Last Man versus Kiris and Mibble. And it should start in 6 minutes. Wow.
So I think, do we change gears and switch over to that?
You know what? Let's do it, right? I just need a couple of minutes there in order to prepare everything, but it should be fine. I just need to, change the scoreboard and probably get rid of the banner here on my interface here because it says Legacy of the Huns. But other than that, I'm good. We can do it.
All right, take your time. I'll take care of chat in the meantime.
All right.
And you think that's about a 5-minute thing, right?
That's about a 5-minute thing indeed. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then I've got us covered.
All right. Perfect. I'll let you know once I'm done.
Okay. All right, and Yandas. Ooh, nice to see you here. I almost screwed up that name a little too hard there. But yeah, so Chris and Mibble versus Oladushek and Last Man. I will say I'm a little out of touch on these names, but if you're happy to see them, if you're happy to say something about them, let's hear it. Chris definitely recognize. Oh gosh, 5 minutes. Yeah, boy, we'll be good. So this is the loser bracket of Nomad Battlegrounds. So anybody losing this match is out. It's gonna be rough for them. So they'll play well. Looks like we've got one player from. Wait, hold on. The Sky Drive, or that's just somebody hanging out. Anyway, I'm sure these players will. If these players don't show up on time, we'll hear what their plans are, and we'll get it taken care of. But anyway, chat, what brings you around today? If it's your first time back at Voobly Official, hello to you. We are rebuilding the channel with some people behind the scenes from Voobly, as well as Nobody Got Us Together. Nobody brought some of us together, brought me in, Demise Red. Oh, I feel like I'm the worst because I'm forgetting some people, right? Oh, no, I'm just thinking of some people that work behind the scenes. As well as Flucast on here and Katsuni. And we're working together to make this, I believe, the community channel it once was. I will say that time period was before my involvement in Twitch, so I didn't bring your first hand. Oh, yeah, that's right, poor I brought you here. Specifically told you how to find me here. We'll skip What Did I Love Reznor Write to get deleted. It's probably the first time I had to, or it's definitely the first time on this channel I had to delete somebody's message, so we'll go ahead and we don't gotta get into those details. Don't worry. It's nothing too bad. If it was too bad, people would get a ban. If it's more of a, come on man, don't show up just to say that. That kind of stuff is just rude. Let's do it. Just give them a timeout. Picture it'll get the picture across. Don't need to bring down the mod hammer of justice on anybody unless it's absolutely necessary. Anyway, glad to have you all here. I hope you like what we're working on with the channel, doing our best to regrow it and bring you something consistent. I will give you a little insight behind the scenes. We've been talking, we've been trying to get this scheduled together, what we're doing, when we're doing it, why we're doing it, how we're doing, all those kind of things. And as of about noon today, I think we're all finally back to a normal schedule. We all had a rhyme or reason to be away or be extra busy. I think I was the last one on having things planned, and I think from here on out or within the next 2 days, everybody's back to streaming as much as their schedule usually permits. I'll keep that going. Other than that, we were just casting Legacy of the Huns. Now we're getting a Nomad Battlegrounds, another tournament. Voobly Official has been doing our best to cover. Some of these tournaments don't get as much coverage as they should. There's no true rhyme or reason for it. Just sometimes stuff gets casted, sometimes it doesn't. So we wanted to make sure to get in on these, make sure they got some of the attention they deserved. Some of the same names you're used to seeing all the time, just a different format. And, when is the game going to start? Well, we're waiting on one more player, and we'll have everything together. Oh, Legacy of the Huns is a 1v1. That's what we were casting. But that was over. That was that round is a best of 3, and Spring took it 2-0. So that one's over. That one's over now. We'll see Spring advance. You'll definitely see more Legacy of the Huns games. Definitely will see more of them here on Googly Official. There is a lot of them to cast. I believe the number was 101 games. And the goal isn't to hit as many as possible. The goal is to get all 101 games casted. That's quite a big thing. Yeah, 101 Legacy of the Huns game. Or I should say, it's 101 matches, isn't it? It's not 101 games, 101 matches. Ooh, that number just possibly... Well, actually, I guess more than tripled once we get into the best of 3 type stuff. Let me check that qualifier, or let me check that bracket. Yeah, started from round 1, it was best of 3. Round 2 is best of 3. You just saw a round 3, that was best of 3. Qualification round 4, still best of 3 to be played next week. Well, within the next week. After all of this weekend's... Oh, Legacy of the Huns needs to be resolved today. 1, 2, 3, 4 more matches need to be reported. So there's 4 more matches today at some point. And then we'll be going on to 4. And then qualified for final stage will be 8 players. I don't know if those rules have been announced yet. But Spring will be going up against seeded number 8 Chart, who has also been going 2-0 throughout the entire tournament. Oh, sorry. But it is a lot of games. But if we've got a format down and I just gotta show up, watch games, and cast, man, that's the easy part. We'll be good. Oh boy, it just gives you plenty of time to come and see. Just gives you all this stuff to watch. Don't worry about it, man. Just enjoy. I'm looking up the oh, we're in the Silver League, right? The Silver League, loser bracket round 2. Who do we not actually have? There's gotta be a bracket here somewhere. Interesting. They might not have a bracket up for this. It might be Thank you, Olusek. So, okay, so here's what we're looking at. So up at the winner of this best of 5 will be going on against Funny Tam Tam and Sid Hanny.
That is a funny name for sure.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Hi there. So everything is done and we are ready to start whenever they feel ready. I also managed to deal with this performance issue that I had. It was actually one mouse click and I just missed to do it. So sorry for the slight, how do you want to call it, slow-mo effect. It was, instead of 100%, it was at 95, 90%. So this won't happen anymore, gladly. And yeah, so we can just start this whenever they feel like. Rogier505 and the others who's there. I don't know about the nicknames of the others. I mean, I know their official nicknames, but I guess it's, let me see. Oh yeah, no, it's true. Rogier505 and Lastman versus Chris and Mibble. Therefore, I guess Sky Dragon is Mibble. Mibble.
Yeah, I think Sky Dragon's Mibble or Mibble. Because they've been hanging out. I think they would have been kicked by now if they weren't.
Yeah.
Going to be a 2v this point. This is going to be a 2v2 now that we're in a Nomad Battlegrounds game. Well, Demise, if you've got a screen cap ready, we can go ahead and see this. What am I trying to say? Riding the struggle bus here. Draft.
The draft.
Wow.
Oh my god. Oh, you're so right. Okay, that's the only thing that I didn't work on. Lol. Yeah, this is gonna be difficult. Let me see. I mean, the game hasn't started, so they're just ready for the draft, they said. Let's see about the draft.
Well, I'll talk us through it. So far, we've had all the bans. Chris's team has banned the Persians and Mayans, and Rogier505's teams has banned the Chinese and the Burmese. Looks like they're not global bans. They might just be bans for the other team. Chris picking the Mayans, Rogier505 picking the Malians, followed by, got about 25 seconds to pick here. Probably conversing with his teammate, thinking, how are we going to do this? What do we think they're going to pick next? How do we pick a good civ to go well with the Malians? And at the same time, think about Nomad. There's a lot of factors going into a civ draft. For all those who haven't been in one of them, man, they can make you feel very nervous very fast. And Rogier505's teams ends up picking the Burmese. And Chris rounds it out picking the Spanish. So we're going to have, for Chris's team, we'll have Mayans and Spanish. And with Rogier505 and Last Man, we will have, Burmese and riding the struggle bus Malians.
I'm so glad that you did this at the moment, because for me the link doesn't even work. They say I need to register or something like this. I'm not even sure. I mean, I clicked on the link of Racer, but glad that you were helping out. Unfortunately, I will not be able to get up those visuals there, but the game is starting now, right?
Yeah, game's starting, so we'll have 1:30 once they launch the actual game, which it should be rather fast now that they've done a draft. And if that's the case, yeah, I can walk us through the draft each time. Won't be that, it's not that bad.
It's just one draft anyway. Game 1 is a draft. Game 2 will be switch civs from Game 1. Game 3 will be team random. Game 4 will be Khmer and Slavs. And Game 5 is teams choose out of a certain pool.
Okay, so let's talk about team random, because that's not always clear. Team random is it's basically team mirror.
Exactly, it's team mirror. So if, I don't know, you and me, we get Koreans and Malians, the enemy will get that as well.
Okay, and because it's team random though, as opposed to picking random, mirror, you can't get Koreans, correct?
I believe so. In order to prevent this one from happening, which would be really, I don't even want to call that interesting, the scenario that you've just mentioned, Koreans, and Koreans, but yeah, I guess
it would just be a map covered in towers.
Oh my god.
It wouldn't be a tower rush. It would be
just
like
tower
fest. Like a sprawling tower defense game.
Oh god.
What is full random and how does it differ from random? Wait, full random as in full random map?
Yeah, that's something
full
else.
Full random map picks any map, boy. And then random is normally random land map or random water map. But we just walked through team random versus random. So clarify if that's what you're asking. If it is, we'll go over that again. If not, we'll see a clarification of what you're asking.
I mean, the terms full random and random, they don't necessarily apply to civs. I mean, there's random civs, of course, but full random, that is actually not a thing for civs. It's more considered to be in relation with maps. You can't pick random or full random? Okay.
I almost want to boot up like HD and check that out for myself. I might be out of touch here. I'm not sure.
I actually doubt that. Alright, so the game is starting and we'll just switch over there.
Yes, sir.
And I believe the scoreboard should be fine now. And we are ready to do this. Alright, so... oh gosh, now it's starting again. Nomad, I cannot believe it. So excited. So welcome everyone. This is Demise Red and I'm here with Willis. He will co-cast with me. And together we are here to cast this beautiful matchup between Oladushek, Last Man, and Skydragon and Chris of the Nomad Battlegrounds. And we got a pause.
I'm happy to be here. Hello everybody. Yeah, we got a pause.
Yeah.
Gives us time to re-go over these civs. Purple, Malians, Oladushek. Or wait, purple, Oladushek playing as the Malians.
Exactly. So I'm a tiny bit confused now that everything is pausing and stuff, and I feel awkward in explaining and introducing those players, but I'll attempt it and then we'll see about the civs directly. So I'll just start with the team with Oladushek. So we got Oladushek in purple, as Will said correctly, with the Malians on the top hand side of the map, and on the south there's his teammate Last Man, still struggling to find a place for his TC. There we go. Now he found it. And then on the opposite team we got the Skydragon and Chris, who are really in the center of the map, while Skydragon is the one more on the top and Chris the one on the bottom.
I'm thinking the pauses might be because we might have had a misclick by Last Man. He went Britons. Yes. When in the draft they picked Burmese.
Oh, are you sure? Oh yeah, Last Man choose Brits. So oh yeah, it's over.
So we're gonna see a re.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that would totally be unfair.
That was a mistake.
I'm hoping it's a misclick. They only won away.
I'm sure it was a
misclick.
misclick.
In the selection. Yeah.
Alright.
We'll get out of this. We'll wait for the next game to start.
Alright. So that was unexpected, to say the least.
Absolutely. I would hope to... It's kind of funny to see all these things the pros can do and then they accidentally pick the wrong civ.
Right.
See all these funny mistakes once in a blue moon.
Exactly. So you said instead of Britons, he should have gone for Burmese?
Yes, the Burmese. Ooh. I still have the civ draft up. We should be seeing Spanish Mayans versus Malians Burmese.
That's a tough matchup there. What you say about that? Any predictions what could happen here?
Ooh, man. My Nomad game is weak.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna rely on the Burmese. I'm pretty sure they've been all around tanks lately.
Yeah, Burmese they are awesome, right? I mean, when I talked to Nobody last time we did Nomad Battlegrounds together with, what was it, the Max and Valise against Seal and Tim, we also said probably we want to see some Burmese action here, because Burmese, they got a serious advantage in economy there. Some wood economy bonus there. They get double bit X and every further wood upgrade for free and directly. Which is huge, especially on maps like Nomads. Not the hugest thing, but still considerable. And if it gets to, you know, some Arambai, oh man, it would be tough. So I'm really looking forward to see some Burmese action this game. But you said correctly as well, the enemy was Spanish and Mayans. Therefore, that's also a tough matchup there. Mayans, okay, a lot of bonuses for their economy. In Spanish, I see them quite similar, not really super exactly the same like the Burmese, but if they would go for, I mean, if the Spanish guy would go for first scouts and into some conks, that would be an option, especially with the scouts on Nomad. Always a good thing to harass the other people's TCs there and the surrounding of that. And later on, some conks would be something adequate, considering the fact that the enemy is Burmese, even though Arambai versus Kongs, I see the Arambai shining.
You know what? Something I'm picking out from this. I feel like from feudal to all the way through late imp, we've got 4 civs that are very annoying when raiding. We could see scouts from both teams during feudal.
Yeah.
We could see some plumed archers during castle, as well as conks from the Arambai as well, and then Malians putting out elite Gabetos and Imperial, as well as mines. We could even put out elite Eagle Warriors. Man, this is all gearing up to be a bad day to be a villager.
Oh yeah, you said it. You said it right there. Bad day to be a villager indeed. There are a lot of options to cause some heavy raiding. What I've seen in normal battleground so far, Eagle Warriors in the late game, insane. Once some slinging taking place, they're not to be stopped. You cannot do anything against this anymore. Unless you have a huge army yourself consisting of, I don't know, champions and, I know, scorpions maybe, and a lot of micro mixed with that. But other than that, that's one thing to consider. And the Malians, yeah, elite Gabetos, that's one option, of course, at least for raiding. But Malians in general, on normal battlegrounds, really nice stuff. Their knights, really insane. There are some options indeed, and you said it correctly. Both sides could go for scouts first, and later, and cast stage, and also imp. There are a lot of raiding possibilities over there.
All right, yeah. How's your meta? How have you been on defending elite Eagle Warrior raids lately? You up on what we're doing right now? You up on the current tactics of how to deal with elite Eagle Warriors raiding?
So there are actually key problems when defending against elite Eagle Warriors. First of all, when I first started playing this game, I thought, okay, Eagle Warriors, they're just infantry. I just go for expos, and then we'll see, because they are fast, but a big amount of expos that will just kill them. No, not gonna happen. They're actually quite tanky when facing expos. Archers, just forget about archers. Expos even, they seem to have no chance. Once you got your decent number of Eagle Warriors, they're just done. You only get the edge when you got Arbalists with Bracer. Then you seem to have some kind of advantages concerning elite Eagle Warrior spam. But also, you know, once the spam is real, once the slinging is real, especially taking place on Nomad, it's gonna be real tough. So speaking of the meta, like I said, I would initially go for champions and scorpions, but actually that could be horrible. Once you mismanage your eco, mismanage your micro, I mean, and you allow those eagles to hit your scorpions, then you're gonna be GG. And those champions, they're going to be way too slow in order to catch up with the Eagle Warriors. But yeah, when I faced Eagle Warriors, I would go for champions and scorpions, some kind of weird stuff like that.
So you're giving one heck of an answer, but I still see, as far as I think current meta, or maybe noob current meta dealing with the Eagle Warriors, I still see something totally different than that. Something that I see kind of gets you out of that situation every time. Nothing? At all?
Nothing? What'd you say?
Oh, okay. Alt F4. That usually gets rid of the elite Eagle Warrior spam. At least it works for me. It works for other noobs.
Come on.
I felt so bad. You gave like a 3-4 minute, really well thought out answer, just so I could be like, oh, I just meant Alt F4. That gets rid of elite Eagle Warriors. At least I don't see them anymore.
Come on, man. Yeah, okay, that's one way to do it.
As you kept going, I was like, oh man, this started out funny. I'm starting to feel bad. There's so much effort in place. I'm just going to ruin it.
Oh man. Okay, it's fine. I mean, you're actually right. You know, Alt F4, also a way to deal with it. And while we are having a good convo over here, I just see that they restarted the lobby over there. Or the game, actually. It was probably a rip or a re. Oh yeah, can find the restore or can't find the restore. I'm not even sure what happened. So there's a second attempt in relaunching the game. 40 seconds left, spectator delay there. I just hope for the best. And then we were able to jump right into the game and finally see what about those Eagle Warriors. What about